Hello everyone, welcome on in. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Oh, I need to raise that up. Dang it. Thought I had it. Shoot be darned. There. Hope I didn't make anybody dizzy. Welcome. Anybody new on here? My name is Michelle and I am Snow Fox Designs. Let me get everything brought up here. All right, come on. Hi Lisa, how are you? Hopefully still have water and electric. I know we've been having storms off and on, and I'm supposed to have some more. Hey Ken, thanks for tossing snowballs, Lisa. I didn't do last week's drawing this weekend, but I'm going to do it after my live here. Put my glasses over there and hopefully I don't forget. So, I dropped my phone, got it in some water so it doesn't want to charge the normal way. So now I have it on this little charging cord pad. Hi Linda. So, we were at the auction and they had a whole bunch of these wheelbarrows. Some of them are narrower, some are square, some were wider, some were thinner. And I think there was like 12 of them. I should have just gotten all 12, but I didn't. I only got 4, and they went fairly reasonable. I think they were like $2 a piece. But I thought, what the heck? Let's do something with one of them. So we're going to do something floral, but I want to paint the wheel, I want to paint the arms, and I want to paint the legs back here. So that's what we're going to start off doing. And I think we're going to start off using the medium gray for the wheel in that and see how well this goes. I need to get me some more of these little, I thought I did, but if I did, I'll be darned if I know where they're at. You know how it is when you like to organize and then you organize so well, you don't know where you organized anything. That's my problem anyway. So I'm going to paint the wheel first. Let's kind of do it this way. And these were obviously handmade because you can see all the screws and everything on here. And I like the burn technique that they did on here. So we're going to keep this part burnt. But I want to paint the wheels and everything to give it a little more something something. Hi Linda. If I didn't say hi, hello. And I will be doing my drawing for last week's sharers. Those that I see that Facebook lets me see who shared. I put into a weekly drawing. So I'll be doing that after the live to here today. Now I haven't decided if I want to rough this up a little bit. I might do that. I'm not sure. What I mean by that is paint it and then put some that may be lighter than the side of the wheel. Because don't mind. I don't know if you can see that little texture in there. I really like that texture. So we might do it lighter than this side of the wheel because I'm kind of going over the side of the wheel. At least on this side, I went over kind of heavy on it. Not as much on this side, so let's go ahead and give it a little more. So did anybody, I know Tina did, but did anybody else watch the Derby this past weekend? We watched some of it. And I figured if I was going to show anybody anything around Churchill Downs, I need to get over there as early as I could. Otherwise, there's no getting over there at all. Because especially the closer it gets to the race, the Derby race, and the time for it all to end, then they start closing down everything. It used to be, and I don't know, Tina may remember this, on Central, they used to have it where they did a lot of, like, partying out there. They don't do that anymore. Hi, Judy. How are you? Welcome on in. Hope you're having a good Monday and had a wonderful weekend. So what I have here is a wooden wheelbarrow that we found at auction. And I'm kind of painting the wheel. And then I'm going to paint what I'm calling the arms and the leg. I'm going to leave the box part, the burnt wood. Hi, Vicki. Thanks for sprinkling. I missed it because our TV at work is down for remodeling. Well, don't they know better than that? Big important event going on. They need to have the TV up and working. Shame on them, right? So now it'll be kind of quiet again here in Louisville. No other festivities that I can think of coming up. That's primarily the biggest one there is. Even though we didn't have a lot of it this year that they normally have for the Derby. Because it's like a month-long thing full of different events. The rain kind of put a damper on a lot of them. You complained to everyone. And I bet it went in one ear and out the other. They didn't care. Thanks, Judy. I appreciate it. I was just saying, anybody who shares and I can see it on where Facebook tells me and lets me know who shares, I put them in for a weekly drawing. And I didn't do last week's. Usually I try to do it on Saturday, but I did not do it on Saturday, so I'll be doing last week's after we get off the live here. Hello, Lavon. How are you? I am painting a wooden wheelbarrow, some of it, not all of it. And paint the legs, the wheel, the arms. And then we're going to make it into like a little planter. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Haven't finished up my florals yet. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you for sprinkling or tossing snowballs. I can't even remember what James has all called it before. He's called it several things. Okay, so there's the wheel and the legs. I think we're good for that. So now we're going to paint using our chalk mineral paint from Dixie Belle de Caviar. I got part of it done. I plan on having it to you by the Wednesday, I'd say. haven't did this style in a long time. The last time I did it was for me and my daughter did it for her wedding. So we shall see. Hi, Mickey. So did everybody have a good weekend? Ours here was wet, but it was quiet for the most part. And I say that because we don't live extremely far from the track. You would think we were kind of far enough. We're about, 3 blocks away, but we still get some of the traffic, and believe it or not, I can remember the one year people had parked, but they came walking our way, and they said, you could tell they had a little too many, and they're like, we're trying to find our car, and we're looking for, and we said, you went the wrong way. You need to go back that way, about 4 blocks. Hi, Denise. How are you? And somebody asked me, because I did a little bit of videoing of what I could get and how close I could get to the track on Saturday and that. And somebody had asked about the prices for parking. They range anywhere, because people open up their front yards and that, and they charge anywhere from $20 to $40 to park. You used to have to do yours, had intention of doing it this past weekend, but was too busy. I thought about finishing it up on this weekend too, but that didn't happen, so I'm giving myself until Wednesday. So we'll see. It just sounded like fun, and like I said, I haven't done these in a long time, so I thought, well, why not? So I did, like I was telling, for those that had just hopped on, we got these, and I say we because it was Ken and I. We were at one of the auctions that we like to go to on occasions, and they had these wheelbarrows there. And I thought, oh, those are pretty cool. And you can tell that somebody handcrafted them. And I was telling everybody earlier that some of them were a little bit wider. Some of them were more square. But I got, I think, 4 different ones. And I think there was a total of 12. I should have just gotten all 12 and didn't. You know, sometimes you're like, man, do I really need that? And then after the fact, you're like, yeah, I really did. So I thought this time, since they burned them, did a little wood burning on them, I thought, oh, I'm going to change it up a little bit today. Paint it up a little bit. So what did you all do for this past weekend? Anything fun? We had, as you all know, mostly all of you should know, we had rain. And I think we're going to have rain for the next several days. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Welcome on in. Those that are hopping on, just an FYI, if you sprinkle me out and I can see where you sprinkled me out, I'll put you in for a drawing at the end of the week. And if I don't get to it for whatever reason by Saturday, I draw the following week and send out some happy mail. Never know what you could be getting. But I hope it makes you happy. So anybody do anything fun? I was been getting kits cut before I have to take surgery. Ooh, you got a mammogram. Oh, those are always a smashing fun time. You made some rings and a couple crafts. That's always fun. When do you know when, Sherry, do you know when your surgery date is yet? Yes, it's a rain here and gotten cooler. And Linda, you go to PT next week? What are you going to PT for, ma'am? If I forgot, refresh my memory, please. That's one thing I don't, I mean, I get them every year because my mom had breast cancer, so they told me a long time ago that I need to keep up on that. Some of those people that do them, I think they need to go back to school and learn how to do them. And then there's others that do them so nice and it don't torture you. Don't have the date yet? Well, keeping you in prayers, my friend. I'm not painting the very bottom, but I'm painting the arms on here because I just feel like they need to be. Arthritis in your finger? I didn't know they did PT for arthritis. If they did that, I'd be there all the time. The orthopedic and the neurosurgeon and them said, I have so much in my spine. It's if I don't ever do anything to my spine that's messed up, it eventually, after a while, it can just fuse itself. But you know how long that's going to be? I'll probably be gone by the time that happens. No problem. If anybody needs extra prayers in that, good thoughts, positive thoughts, I'll send them out for you. So I just figured if I painted this up a little here and there, it would give it a little more than just all the same burnt effect. I wanted a little something else added to it. Hi, Devon. Welcome on in. We're painting up a wheelbarrow right now. And then we're going to add some floral to it. Hi, Sheila. I'm Nudie, just finished cutting my backyard, sweating bullets. Oh, well, then you definitely need to sit down and take a break. So thank you for taking a break by joining us. We appreciate it. Welcome on in, Sheila. Yeah. I get that. If it doesn't help, that's like they're sending me back because some of you know I do have a lot of spine issues, and they told me that I do have a couple discs that are pushing on my spinal cord in the neck. But the neurosurgeon, I got tired of all the orthopedics, so I skipped over and went to the neurosurgeon, and he said he was more worried and concerned about the lower back. Okay. We'll watch the upper, but worried about the lower. Okay, I'm good with that. So now they're sending me to the pain clinic before we go for, because he said if they did would they do surgery, they would do the fusion and then some screws in that. But we want to try the pain clinic. And they call it, it's like a nerve stimulator because I have real bad issues with the nerves. So you have to, when you go, they're gonna talk to me, and then they'll decide, I guess, which one or whatever. And the temporary one, they just kind of run it up underneath your skin, and then you have like this battery pack that you have to carry around on you. And if that works, then they'll talk to the neurosurgeon and he'll implant a permanent one. I don't know about that, but because I don't know if a lot of discomfort that's just coming from the back itself or from our good old friend Artie. Because y'all know how Artie likes to be known that he's around. So I go on the 22nd to them. But I think just adding the little bit of color here helped it. Not that it looked bad. Oh, man, maybe we need to be talking, Devonna. It's like, I've been dealing with this for 20 plus years. I used to work for UPS, was doing the proper lifting and that. It was before they had where all the stuff came out on a belt and you just pushed it here and there. No, they had the earregs where you have to lift them up with a partner, put them up on a belt and go. And that's where I wound up really hurting my back, and from there it's been downhill. You had a temporary one, Lisa? Did it work any? So I think before we put any floral in here, I think I want to add a little something to the edges and to the wheel. But they said some people have told me that the temporary like nerve stimulator worked for them. And then I've heard others say, yeah. So I guess it just depends. I don't know. I don't know much about them. I'm taking just a little bit of wax and putting a little bit of highlight on here, and that this does not work as well as I was hoping it to, so we're going to try a sponge instead. You didn't like it? See, that's what I'm afraid of. That, you know, it's just not going to help, and it's like another wasted step. I've had the injections into the back more times than I want. I've had the facet shots in there. The only thing I didn't do is burn the ends of the nerves. That I didn't do. So I'm just taking the wax around the edges. And a little more just to give it a little pop on here. Can you see that? Mine helped some, but I wasn't expecting being cut in the front and back. Oh no. So what they told me is that when they put the temporary one in, they go up and run this cord up alongside the spine, and then you just have this pack. now I don't know. I'm going to be definitely asking some really good questions here. They said if they go for the permanent one, then they would have to go in, like in your thoracic, and cut a little bit of the bone out and implant it in there, and it'll be more stationary. Hi, Sheila. If I missed you, welcome. So now I'm like, okay. Because when they first were talking about it, I was like, oh, so it's kind of like a TENS unit. And they said, well, yeah, sort of. And I thought, well, between all these years of dealing with all this stuff, I have enough TENS units. So why can't, I mean, it doesn't really do anything for the nerves, but again, I'm just taking this along the edges. Kind of roughly along the edges, I'll say, because I wanted to have some pop to it. And I forgot to do this part over here, so we're going to just go ahead and do it. See. So the way they sounded to me, they would only have to do it in the back, but definitely will make sure about that because I'm not doing any surprises. Tell me all up front and we'll go from there. Okay, so now I have all kinds of flowers here to put in here, and even some green. I really like the Dixie Belle gilding wax, and my favorites are the zinc, which I just used here, the silver. I like the bronze. The copper is a little bit more like gold. And when I was talking to James, James said, don't get the gold because you really can't tell the difference between the copper and the gold, so I didn't get that. But I have black also. Hey, Norma, how are you? We are just messing with a little wheelbarrow that I have here and painted some of it. Now we're going to put some floral in. And we'll see how this all goes. I'm going to wait to add that. Our little baby's breath. So who keeps up with what Hobbies has on sale? Because I don't know what's on sale this week. I do need to get me some more floral. And I know that Walmart is actually stepped up with some of the floral. And they have definitely stepped up with, now we may change these around. I'm just sticking them in randomly right now. With fabric. So if you need fabric, you've been doing a little bit of painting. Hi, Karen. Thank you. But I know Walmart stepped up their fabric. I was surprised. I think they started here last year with having a lot more fabric available in like fat packs and that. I don't want these to be too tall. I'm saving these because I will be using them at some point in time. Thank you for tossing the snowballs. I appreciate it. So who all is expecting more rain this week? I'm ready for no more rain. Happy to share with anybody who needs some. I am in Louisville, Kentucky. Here in Colorado, we were out at Estes Park a couple years back. We were out that way. So I think I'm playing, y'all. We may be taking these out. You may say, what is that woman doing? Is she being cuckoo? Yes, I am. Everybody has a little cray-cray. I stayed in the house. Now, before it got too bad, I don't know if you were able to see or not, but I went out and did some videos to kind of let everybody see what kind of goes on. I couldn't get super close to the track, but I could get kind of close to the track. So that's where I did some videos. But I kind of just I don't go out too much on Derby Day because if you all heard me talking about it, they'll go in and they'll shut down some of the expressway, so you can only go one way or the other. Meaning, if it, like where we're at, we can't go out on any which way that we possibly can to get up on the expressway. And if you do get up on the expressway, you can't get back off on the exit that we need to get off for our house. So we would have to go traveling several exits up and then work our way back. And to me, that's just a hassle. So they used to, years and years ago, they used to allow you, if you came down the ramps and you had your license with you, which you should anyway, and you could prove that you lived somewhere off the expressway, or off that exit, they'd let you through. They won't even let you do that now. It's like, sorry. So to me, it's kind of a hassle to go about. Just, I mean, if you have to run somewhere, wait until well after the Derby's over, which is usually around 8 o'clock or so. Hi, Maddie. All right, come on. Yes. Heard people in the Joann's here in Central VA mention not being able to get fabric once Joann's closed. Oh, no. I was watching my granddaughter, but I did get to watch the Derby. Never late, Maddie. Never late. We have gone out before. We've even left town before during the Derby. But wasn't really feeling it this year to go out and then fight way back in. So I'm just taking little baby's breath and adding it in here for right now. I'm going to fill this in some. I'm not sure because I'm not very fluent in floral, but I'm not sure what these are, but I like those. Where did I put? We're going to put some greenery in here too, but I also have this color. just to give it a little something different. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? All right, just was zooming by again. It was a good day to stay in because, I mean, anybody who knew, it rained here. So, and I've had people asking, do they still run the horses when it's raining out? Yes, they do. It's only if it starts thundering and lightning, more lightning than anything. But the horses do run on muddy tracks. So I haven't really decided. I have a couple ideas for tomorrow, but I haven't totally decided what yet. Do y'all plan ahead all your projects, or do sometimes you just kind of wing it and see where it goes? I'm curious. Inquiring minds want to know. Events are always a plan, because I always want to make sure that I have something planned, have it figured out to approximate what it's going to be, and have a backup just in case I get done too soon. But every day, it depends for me also. Now, do we want to add these or not? Do we want to add some white in there? I do have a couple of these, though, that we could add too. We could add just a couple of these in here. Maybe. The track was a mess and both horse and rider got... Yes, they did. They got real muddy. Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival was canceled here. Weekend flood on Saturday. Several vendors packed up. I bet. You wing it. Well, you do good winging it, Sherry. Normal plans. Didn't plan to go live the other day. Just decided to. Yeah, I do that too. So, I mean, I get it. And I'm also been known that, oh, I'm going to do this. And then at the last minute, it's like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather do this. Lives, definitely. Definitely plan. For some reason, I always like to have my ducks in a row, so to speak, for those. I think we're going to add a couple of these little, like, daisies in here. Nice, we'll cut them all off. That's what I was thinking. Put a little bit of the little daisies in here to give it a little something. These I think were too bushy. And these would blend in too much, even though I do like them. And then I was thinking about adding a little bit of these around the edges just to give it a little around the edge. You're a planner? Tina, I know you guys plan when you go to your daughters, but I also know that there's been times you said, oh, you think you're going to do this, and you also change it up too. I think a lot of us do that, though. You think you're going to do something, and then you get up there, or you're in the midst of it. It's like, well, but this would be. I'm also one, and I'm sure a lot of you do it too. You'll find something. Like, I've had these for a couple weeks, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to do something with them. And you see something, and you know you're going to do something with it. But then lightning doesn't strike until maybe a week or two or a few days later, and it's like, that's what I'm going to do with it. Or at least that's the way I feel. Okay, let's see how this is going to work. I just got an alert for it looked like flying for Mother's Day. It's okay. Let's see what we think about this. I'm thinking putting... So I still think I should have probably bought all of them instead of just 4 of these wheelbarrows. Thanks, Denise. Thanks, Norma. Some of them I can bend down a little more. What do you think? Yay or nay? I'm going to keep cutting, and because I think I'm still going to be adding some more. Thanks, Judy. That one I'll have to work on bending a little more. Thanks, Lisa and Tina. And I got them from one of the one of the auctions we have on Thursdays, not too far from us. And I almost told Kenny, let's get them all, because I think there was like 12 of them, and I didn't. And now I wish I would have. They came in, like, this one's a little long and narrow, but they have some, and I should have brought them back here. If I remember, I'll bring them back tomorrow, but some are a little more square, and I only got 4 of them, and now I wish I would have gotten all of them, because who knows, they could have been something good. Who knows, somebody could get one for, Happy Mail, but I didn't get them all, and I should have. Lesson learned, listen to thyself. When myself says you need to get them all, you need to get them all. Yeah, we might put a little throughout too. I wanted to see if I had enough to go around. And if not, I could probably find something else to add in there. All right, come on. I love these. They cut so nice. They're the DeWalt's. I think Cindy from C3 was the first one I saw that had them. And I really like them. Because the ones I have were not very good. You probably could. I mean, you probably could build one. That's something I need to do this summer, is I do have some power tools that I need to play with. Oh, well, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it with the weed whacking. with all the rain here, we need grass cutting and all that done. It's gone crazy. I'm at one point in time in my life, I thought, oh, you know, it would be good to be a welder and do some of the metal art and work like that. I want these to curl a little more, and they're not bending as well as I wanted them to. I think just a couple little more, and then we'll do a few sprigs in there and see how that goes. I did get a couple of those arched Mother's Day mirrors from DT Saturday, but Lord knows I don't need any. I haven't been to Dollar Tree, so by the time I get over there, there probably won't be any. Because that just seems to be my luck sometimes. However, we are lucky, and I know I've told you all this before. I probably have at least 6 Dollar Trees I could go to, and I have like 5 hobbies that are maybe between 15 and 20 minutes away for me. So we do well with that. I haven't done the tractor mowing since I was a kid. We lived on a small farm when I was a kid. The only thing I'm not liking too much is I might have to put some glue on here because I might want those to be down just a smidge. And Norma says add a little bit in here, so let's see. I have a few pieces left. Let's add them in there and see how they look. Yeah, I can't handle them sticking out. Gonna have to glue them down because they don't want to stay bent. So there's your green, Norma, up in the top. Yep, the good thing about having the multiple choices is if you can't find it at one, you usually can at the other. Same with the Dollar Tree. Even though I don't know why we call it the Dollar Tree, because it's not $1 anymore. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not good. The only other thing I could tell you as far as the Dollar Tree goes is you can order some off their website, and they're usually pretty good about getting it to you. Thanks, Norma. I appreciate that. Except I'm going to put these little greeneries, I'm going to glue them down because I'm not liking the way they don't stay bent down. The other thing I need to practice on is wreath making. And still need a little more something on bows. But I'm getting there. A dozen of whatever. Yeah, that is true. It does. That is the bad thing. So I'm waiting for my glue gun because some of them are laying down nicely, and I keep trying to bend these, and they're not staying down. So I don't like them taking off with the wings. So I'm probably going to glue some of these down here just to hold them kind of down, kind of like this, since they don't want to stay bent. I'm going to try bending them some more and see if they will. But so far, some of them will not. Now, those two don't, that doesn't bother me, these up front here. But these that look like they have wings and are getting ready to fly, it's just not wanting to stay. I'm going to have to glue them down. Try using your heat tool on the greenery, then bend them. I haven't ever thought, I didn't think about that. I made wreaths for several years. This year I'm not made but 2. I think I just got burned out. I used to make 3. Yeah, I would bet you would. Okay. This isn't the best heat tool. It's a nice quiet heat tool. But as you all know, my other one kind of went kapooey. See, this is why I like our crafting group so much. If you don't remember something or know something, somebody's always here that can tell you and say, hey. And I love that about our group. They're going down more. Thanks, guys. That was a good tip. Good tip. Appreciate that. Whoop, whoop. Awesome. Much better. I think it's much better. It's not all like, let's take off and fly. I have one from Branson. Kenny made his. I didn't do mine because we were helping him with his, and I brought mine home and I haven't made it. Oh, Lisa, I definitely know that. I definitely know y'all aren't just a bunch of pretty faces, that you all have smarts and tips and tricks. Put them all together and just have it hanging off of one end. I don't know, I kind of like it all right now. I just didn't want it like, let's take off and fly. That's the way I was feeling. I think it looks all right now, though. Don't y'all? Or should I do what Sherry said, just pull it all and put it off to one side and let it kind of flow? But I think these are cute. So I have at least 3 more of these. They're all wheelbarrows. This is the part right in here that's a little bit different. Some are a little wider than others. You like it now? I do too. I was like I said, when it was like this, I was like, let's take off for flight. And I even think painting the wheel and the arms and the legs gave it a little more something, something. Now, the other ones, they're all done like this burnt wood effect. But they could be, I could paint the whole thing or not. We'll see. We'll do another one sometime. Super cute. I got to run. I'll see you next time. Thanks, Norma. Oh, I appreciate it, Sherry. Like I said, my biggest thing was I didn't like it when it was like this and I couldn't get them to stay down. So when y'all said do the heat gun, I ding, 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 didn't think about that. Because to me it was looking like let's take off for flight, and I didn't like that. Now it's not so bad. I like it better this way. So this is my project for today, y'all. And if y'all have sprinkled me out, you will be going in for a drawing this weekend. And I'm getting ready after here. I will get ready. I'll pop back on and do last week's drawing. Save one for, I definitely will, Susan, because you know Halloween is my jam. October is my month. Not just because it's my birthday. It was Ken's mother's birthday, which is also the same day as mine. And it's also our anniversary. And I love Halloween. Not the gory stuff, but I like the fall and Halloween. Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Maddie. Oh, please stay safe, Lisa, and I'm going to keep you in thoughts and prayers that y'all don't lose your water and electric again. Thanks, Sherry. Have a good evening, everybody, and I'm pretty sure we can't give you all hearts and all that anymore because they weren't working. So I'm going to give you hearts from me. I appreciate you, each and every one of y'all. If there's anybody on here that's new and you're not following them, please follow them. It helps all our pages out when you follow us. In the meantime, everybody have a good rest of the evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Who knows what I may do? We'll see. Have a good one, everybody. Bye now.